Friday night, and so they had it. So they had Jerusalem Assembly on Shabbat, but Kristen couldn't get there because God isn't. So she would normally like take the bus, go into Jerusalem, and then go to church. But so instead, they came and picked her up sometimes.
Well, let's pray. Hello, Marianne. We will pray for strength and wisdom for the next couple weeks before Thanksgiving. So,
and pray for both of us learning piano music.
Oh yeah.
Because we both have to learn the exact same music because we don't know who's playing in a month.
What's that? Oh, Red.
So you know how there's this thing called Nationals?
It's on the same day.
It's on the same weekend that
literally everything.
And Caitlin makes her recital. So that's great fun. So Dr. Ellis was like, "Well, give Logan music," and I was like, "I'm sorry, Logan." So now we're both learning it because we don't know who's playing.
You'll be fine. He likes to say we already know this.
That's good because I know.
So God is giving him more opportunities to
By the way,
well, we can pray about that. That's a good problem. I mean, it is a problem. I recognize that, but that's exciting. I am so proud of the soccer team. That is a joyful opportunity for me. So I know you're
college problems though.
Yeah.
With all of us doing a lot.
But I think I experienced Bob Jones back when it was about 5,000 students. I think they're more like 2,000 now. But anyway, back when they had 5,000, I never got to play the chapel, ever. And it was all faculty. And so unless you were faculty, you didn't play. So you were limited in your experience. The opera accompanist, that was a faculty member. The chorale accompanist, that was a faculty member. Everything was faculty. So as much as it does seem like a lot for a student to experience, what a wonderful opportunity. When you graduate, you will have the skill set to do so many things. So yes, it is a challenge. And I have the perspective of a small school where I was an RA. I was the accompanist for the, so I was busy as could be. But it was great development. I'm so thankful for those years. And it has been great. If you see God's faithfulness and how he's strengthened you for what you've had to do, it encourages you for your future things. So we have some fun things to go through. I don't know if you brought your handouts from the other day. If not, I would be so glad to print them off for you. If you don't have them, I'll print them. Okay. I did make a few changes. Do you need one? We didn't pray yet? Okay. All right, I'm sorry. We'll do that.
You could convince me either way, honestly.
Okay, I felt like I did, but I didn't.
Did we pray?
I think
we talked about praying.
I think we talked about it. All right.
I don't know what to do.
Marianne, maybe we did pray, and if we did, I apologize that we're doing it again.
Marianne, you need to tell us as soon as you're watching this, like text us and let us know.
Did we pray or did we not?
That's bug me until then.
Okay.
So weird.
Let's pray, just in case we didn't. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the good success you've given to the soccer team. Thank you for the healing you gave to Allison, Lord. Thank you for that. And I pray that you would help them to play well. And I pray they would win. We would love to see them go to nationals. That would be so, such a wonderful Cinderella story of a small school being able to do that. We pray that you would just help them to have unity, protect them from injury on both teams. And I pray that you would just give them great competition. And Lord, we ask that we might be successful. knowing that your plan is best and you trust in that, but we do ask that they would pray that you'd be with our time, help us to learn and be better teachers as a result of this class time. So I put it in order, and I actually changed a few things on the order. Logan, would you do me a favor and go to the printer and it should be piano pedagogy leveling exercise. And while I'm at it, just so that you all have the updated one, I'm going to send another 3. So then you should be good to go and grab them and bring them back. Thank you, Logan. So, I have here in order my music. So, we left off talking about Greek. Correct? We left out talking about Greek. That's correct. So Beethoven, and I have a lot of Beethoven. So that's lovely. Okay, so this is one. Here's Beethoven.
Like all sorts of fun things.
Pretty
So.
big. I like this one.
Okay. All right, we're gonna look at a few Beethoven things, I think. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. No, I have mine in front of my nose. So.
I don't. I guess so.
Yeah, I said I had it. That's what I was
Right in
trying
my
to tell you.
folder, like I.
Okay. No, but I wanted him to give you a new one. I changed it.
Got it.
Okay, so this is number 6. This is the Opus 79. And then I believe it should be saved here as well. And I think I did today. Oh, sorry. What's wrong? Did you not get one?
No, we got it.
No, we're good. We're talking about lunch. Yes.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought surely I had printed enough.
Yep, we all have one.
You all have one. That is wonderful. Okay. So in front of you, you have Opus 79, which is just lovely. I need to get this score.
G major?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, have I played this?
You might have.
I played this.
Okay. So I'm going to pull it up in this one. I thought I had saved it in there, but I apparently didn't. Okay, 454.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It's
kind of
'cause it
odd
feels
on a
like
Friday to start
It feels
into
like
a week.
Monday, but then it's also Friday, so we have like the emotions of Monday and the emotions of Friday into one, and it's
Crazy.
It's not good.
It's kind of weird. Okay. So in front of you, you should have a Beethoven to look at. So what would you say in your mind would be the level of this work? And look through the whole thing, not just the first page. Length is a consideration.
There's repeats. There's octaves. There's trills.
Okay.
Whole sonata. Long. Or just
Look at the whole sonata, yeah.
very long. Key change.
Okay.
Probably like lots of black notes.
This is Opus 79,
the whole
Beethoven
thing?
Sonata. Yes.
So your version looks harder than our version over here because it's like
The notes are
condensed.
together.
Okay,
These
maybe
notes
like
are
a
bigger.
7 then.
That's Dover. That would be more so that's a Shermer, but Shermer has recently done performance editions, which I really like them. These are not performance versions.
Oh, I have Shermer stuff, some of them. Yeah, because my dad used to play on it. I have Shermer.
So these are not bad, but they're not. You can see that the paper isn't quite as
It looks
like
almost
this one is really balanced. The paper feels.
All my Shermer stuff,
It's
they've
like
all
if you
lost their
accidentally
covers
read
on
something,
the
then-
You like all those? Now,
It makes me feel like I'm playing actual Beethoven music.
Yeah, it does. It's a weird thing.
so I'm not saying they're bad, and I think I paid $1 for this.
Oh,
So
that's
was
good.
it worth
also why I like
$1?
them.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely worth $1. Now, what you're saying about readability, that is so much less scary.
And for teaching little younger, well, not little, but younger.
Nice.
Your
Yeah, like, you
eyes
could play
on
this.
this I would say is a manila color. Would you agree? Manila
I
color?
thought those were.
They're called manila envelopes.
Because it's a color?
Manila folders.
Great
Partially.
white hurts.
What would you call the color, Allison, if you don't like the word?
Yellow.
No,
Would you
that's
say
not
it's
yellow.
vanilla?
It's
No,
vanilla.
yellow.
It's creamy.
Creamy
Well,
vanilla?
this is like whitish.
Look at that. This
More
is white
cream.
here.
Compare it to the paper.
Well, it's more yellow than white, so it's white with a little bit of yellow.
Yes.
But this is
Hey, and do you remember, if you think back, time really fast, rewind, for dyslexic students,
Oh, yeah,
yellow
yellow.
is a better color for them.
that why
And
something
I
turns-
do not know why. I cannot explain why fully, but it's easier on the eye. So, I don't know if it's because white reflects so much that it's a little bit where even your retinas grow more weary. I'm not sure. But anyway, I tend to try and give my students, yes, I might make that as an example for you guys, but I have invested in more expensive versions for study and to play on. But these are cool to look at. And this was like, I think that whole book was only $15. So there's a lot of pages there. So I'm not saying that I hold my nose up to them, but just be mindful that if you have to pay a smidge more, do look at the quality of the paper and so forth, and the readability of it. So, level, what would you go with? Is this harder than
I forget what the
wedding
other ones were.
day? or-
And a half.
I don't know.
Alright.
There's some octave playing as well, isn't there?
Something that's hard. I like to try to. I don't know. I feel like first I read it. I don't know. I like to try to play. But
What
then
is
the
that?
second movement.
Okay,
It
is
also
G
goes
minor.
to
vivace.
vivace,
Fast.
and that makes it harder too.
Mhm.
Because if you're playing, like, you can play the notes on here, but if you play it vivace,
So what
that
is
makes
your?
it harder.
Are you gonna go with
Eight.
Now, Logan said 9, right? You might be right.
Let's check it out.
Oh, in there? Oh, according to that one.
You already gave yours. Let's
Wait,
see.
I'm doing it according to our leveling, not the book's leveling, because the book's leveling is weird.
What key?
Okay, Beethoven, Beethoven, Beethoven.
Beethoven?
Okay. All right. This is what she says about the sonata in G major, Opus 79. What are the most attractive of the easier sonatas? And one that is not heard sufficiently
Wait,
often.
Wait, it's easy? No,
Wait.
she said it's
Easier, not easy. There's really
Wait,
no
level
easy.
9?
Okay, hold up.
No, we don't know yet.
The theme of the first movement is taken from the Austrian Landwehr Band. That's cute. And should be played with a folk quality. The cuckoo-like calls in this movement are vivid. The second movement is 9/8, almost a barcarolle, with a lyrical double note melody and a rocking left hand.
Wait, what's a double number?
It is beautiful, romantic writing, rewarding to study. The final movement, Vivace, is a lively rondo calling for strong fingers and a rollicking dance tempo, level 10.
Oh,
What?
we were all
My
right.
second guess.
This is the easier of the level 10s.
Why did you say
It
it's
does
easier?
feel like it's like It's level.
Closest.
They're all level
Right,
10,
right.
but they're
Now
easier
she's
and harder.
leveling the whole. You see?
Yeah.
So
So
she said it's one of the easier sonatas. So what is one
Where
of
do
the
you
harder
go from
sonatas
there? It
levels?
feels like there's
for
not
strong
any.
fingers and rollicking dance.
It feels like there's nowhere
I
to
know.
go from there.
Like if this is the top.
So
10.
level 10, this is standard
all level 10?
teaching in performance literature. There is kind of like, I would say early advanced would be like level 10. Then advanced is kind of like
Teachers.
there and beyond. Okay? So it's like there's some that would be like sections that are really challenging. And then some of them may actually be more early advanced. So it kind of depends. So kind of looking at the whole, it's a large work as well. And strong fingers. So pulling that off is challenging.
Do they do leveling for the advanced stuff? Sorry. I said, do they do leveling of the advanced stuff? So like what all her level 10s, is there another book that levels those?
Okay, so I've done a little research on that. Really beyond level 10, we really don't assign levels. We'll say this is one of the most challenging of the repertoire. So it is thought that the Undine by Ravel, Maurice Ravel, is the most challenging set. Now, some of them in the set are not as challenging, but the set, if you play the whole set, it is the most challenging piano repertoire that there is. There's a variety of reasons for it. It's called Ondine, Ondine. My aunt played it her senior year. But I would say my aunt is extremely intelligent. So it requires musical maturity. There's extended trills in the same hand.
Wait.
So you're trilling and playing notes.
Wait. You trill with some fingers and play notes with the others?
I will show you an example. I will show you an example.
That's possible?
Can I look at that? Okay.
Or left hand drill.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon to encounter, but that would be an extremely advanced sequence.
Or impossible.
It's not uncommon.
Okay, Little Miss conducted 3/4 and 4/4 at the same time.
She would be very capable.
Okay,
She would
this
just
is the
sit
work
there.
I
Decided
so-
you wanted to sink your teeth into that, you would spend
that's
2 days doing it, like nonstop, and then you'd be able to do it. What are you talking about?
Okay. Here, this is what Jen Swedberger, she's now married. So well, there are trills in melody. What?
Wait.
Logan just said he would like to play this.
Because I'm confused about how this works.
Okay, I can't play it well, but it's where I'm gonna sit on here with playing. Is that okay?
It's
Oh,
my blood.
okay,
Wow.
so the scene you have. Yeah, and he's taking it from what's the low growling. So here you have. And then here you're playing static. So cool. So you can bring that score with you when you come to be back. That would be, she could have played that in her doctoral recital. Okay? That is doctoral level. So when I was looking towards auditioning into doctoral school, they said they wanted doctorate level music in their audition. So you wouldn't choose really anything that's in this book, okay? You would choose things that are a little bit beyond that. Now, could be for the maturity is required to interpret. So some serialism maybe isn't extremely difficult to read or to actually physically do, but to actually interpret is quite difficult. So there's a number of factors. So I think we've covered that fairly well. Let's move on to the Clementi Sonatina in what's it called? Yes. So I have several of these, I believe. Clementi. So that's one of these for you. And for you.
I found this. Was I supposed to turn this in?
You
A hard
seen it
copy?
online.
Yeah.
And
Did you
I
want the hard
graded, I
copy?
think.
Oh,
Sure.
probably. I didn't know.
I did, I think.
I think
Could
so
be
too.
wrong. I think I
Graded
did.
it right away.
I think I did.
I just forgot if I was supposed to do that.
If I see your grade there, I usually, but it's nice. I'm also doing the work of compiling a notebook myself. Just because I would love to have a notebook to continue adding things to, and then I will be able to show you pertaining. So in your sonatina in C major, let's see here. Okay, here's another score as well. Sorry, okay. So, all right. How would this be easier than the bass one?
It doesn't seem quite as expansive
Okay.
until
Sure.
you get to leave. Until never mind.
The left hand is normal. Doesn't have anything crazy
Not
like
crazy.
trills and, and melodies, but it's just an Alberti bass for most of the time. And then it'll just
Oh, you can see how
get to
I got
chords.
it scribbled on.
And I was like, are you trying to make it for a dyslexic reader?
Was it
No, my babies aren't little anymore, but when they were like 2, I'd find them in my studio doing what I would do occasionally, and like highlighting. And they were trying to look. Oh, look what I did!
You'd be like,
Oh, hey.
So you catch all your expensive books on top shelves.
And honestly, I usually don't pay a ton of money per book, so it's not dreadful. And I use it to just loan students. I don't really want to be too sad if it doesn't return. Okay.
So the thing about this, there's at least one spot where they're like, you should improvise a cadenza. And that would like not be great
I
for
don't
a
think
beginner.
everybody's book says that. That's interesting that yours
Well,
does.
it's because of the fermata measure 58. And it's like, fermata is such a
What
twist.
does
It was
yours say?
customary for the
It's
performer
all
to
written out.
improvise a
tells you
cadenza,
everything else.
which it was. It was Baroque. You improvised the cadenza. But that
His
one,
is all
yeah,
written
that one
out.
has it written
So interesting.
Mine doesn't even have one.
Interesting. So we're learning by this. We have multiple editions. What do you have, Alfred?
Yeah. But I could.
Are yours the same?
Yes.
Oh wait, yeah, I didn't read that down there until just now. But I thought you meant like in the music it had. I was
No,
like, nope.
It gives you an option.
Just the bottom it
Interesting.
says, you should improvise this.
So, I would say that modern pianists typically aren't expected to do like improvisation. Even in like performance of like my husband, the conductor usually told him, I would like you to use the Hemla version of the cadenza for she would prescribe exactly what she wanted. So she did not want him doing his own thing.
It's like using somebody else's improvisation.
This is interesting because it's got all of the editor's marks in gray saying, you know, this is new stuff. This wasn't
Alfred
new.
is a lot
And
of
it talks
that.
about
I like
how
that a lot.
it's got an explanation. The modern piano has considerably more resonance than Clementi's, so his pedal indication is not necessarily appropriate. The performer may pedal again as suggestion. Like, that's cool.
Lights gray. Yeah, so I think that I like the light gray. I think it's helpful. One advantage to the what Logan has in his hands, it's just a little less on each page. There's just a little less daunting to view.
How do you grade it? But
No,
it's mostly all written in like.
as if it was composers.
Sometimes there's
Yeah, how many pages do you have?
the whole thing. From 61 to 71 to 10.
Oh, wow.
So
Do you
yours
have
is
more?
how many pages?
5.
Interesting. So
Do you
you almost
find the
double
link?
it.
Seven. I think ours is 7.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
7.
We don't
There we
have,
go.
we don't have the rondo.
I don't
I
have the
saw that
rondo.
you had a
Yeah.
second movement thing. Like,
Yeah,
Episode.
but
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah, that is the.
Oh. Wait,
I
that's
think
not
that's
the
what it
same
means,
thing.
right?
Yeah.
That's not.
You have this?
No,
No, that's not the
rondo.
same
Oh,
thing.
no.
You don't have this at all.
I don't think you have the multiple moves.
I think ours is one movement.
No, ours is just one
And
movement.
where do you put your whatever you call it?
Would
Yeah.
that be
My special thing is in the second
the
movement.
cadenza?
Yeah. That's the second movement.
Measure 58.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Yeah.
But I have to.
Wait, so keep going.
What happens after your cadenza?
Oh, 58 of the first one.
Yeah.
Wait,
What do you have after
Wait.
your cadenza?
We
Is
have
it
the
the
same
recapitulation?
Let me see. I
Well, while you're kind of throwing that out, what would you say in terms of level? So it's not quite as hard as the level 10 sonata in G major, right?
Right.
Would you say
It's theoretically shorter, apparently.
I would give this an 8 probably. I don't know.
8?
Yeah,
Anna, you
basic
agree with 8?
consistent.
I think it's 7. Of course,
Okay.
never mind. If we're going off the book, 8 at
Okay.
least, maybe 9.
No, we don't have to always agree with the book. This is just a tool, but she is. So, I would say.
I'm saying 10.
You're saying 10? It's the same as the sonata in G major?
Yeah, they keep putting all of them as 10.
That's not true.
I don't
Well,
think that that's a
nice.
good, strong argument, though, Alice.
I myself feel like it's more like
Okay.
I think
Right.
maybe the book will put it
She
at
said
8 or
8?
9.
7,
I'll
8?
probably put it
Okay.
9.
Okay,
up.
so she
Left
says
hand's so consistent.
the sonata in D major, the substantial first movement of this sonata, allegro assai, might be appropriate for those who are ready to play easy timed sonata movement. This work is exciting and almost concerto like in its forceful crescendi and strong forte. The second movement, minuetto, calls for fine attention to details of inflection and phrasing. Level 8. Crescendi?
I thought it was crescendos.
Yeah.
Crescendi.
Just shows how much
Yeah,
I
it's crescendos.
Yeah.
Black sharks,
Crescendos
regulars,
and
Diminuendos.
Okay, so I'm going to go get you started on the next one, which is the Pathetique Sonata.
Yay!
Wait, it was
We skip one?
Traumat.
Oh, Traumerei. No, we're not skipping it.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can't skip
we
Traumerei.
can't skip that. Schumann belongs in our
I'm just gonna go with 10.
teaching repertoire. Any composer that does an album for the young So Lowell Lieberman did as well, a modern version of Alvin. So this is number 8, and so I several of these scores. So yes, we should have multiple of these. So I'm gonna hand this to you. I think I have one more. Yes, I think so. Okay, so you start looking at it. I'm gonna go grab something in your life.
It's really short.
It's very short.
You should have trauma.
It's the same one.
You have the wrong one. I have the wrong one marked.
Probably.
Okay.
Look for
You
it.
comment on Soldiers March. You comment on.
Alright.
I have the humming song.
Wait,
sound like
that's
a
a humming
train
song?
You're in a mood today.
No, I don't even know what's
I
wrong with
like
him.
it, but it's weird.
I'll stop now.
Like it, but it's
No,
weird.
we like it.
No. This is weird.
Yeah, I would suggest something.
I know.
Wait, where's
Is yours look like this?
It would probably take me a
Oh,
while
you
to
had the
learn
real
how to play
thing.
that. Wait,
Yeah,
what did we decide
where is
Clemente
it?
Sonata was?
I would definitely say 6, 5. I would go lower.
it's
but
very expressive. But
Yeah.
I feel like
Maybe
maybe could put it
7.
at 6.
6 or 7.
Did you copy it off of me and I copied off? I don't know why I didn't just copy off of mine.
Boom, 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 boom. See, that is tricky though, because that's
Yeah.
melody in the left hand. Basically.
Maybe 7.
Stressed. Like,
If you're looking at it expressively,
You're always
it's kind of one of those deceptively simple, but if you just power through it, you're not really gonna get it.
Crazy.
I haven't actually really played.
there's one time where so much stuff was going on, but I found out that I'll tell you later. Maybe I'm not. But you guys aren't gonna be at.
Why don't you tell us now since we're all here, basically?
I'm not sure how.
Oh, hi Marianne.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Hi,
We love you. Also, we miss you. Also, we don't have
I miss
snow.
you.
We don't
We don't
have
have
snow
snow.
right now, so you don't have to be jealous.
It was
You sent
icy
me a whole
yesterday,
rant
though.
the other day about how the fact that we had snow. She was really mad.
So we did, but it didn't last.
Yeah, so
Except
it's
I
gone. So
definitely
stop being jealous.
slipped coming out of the apartment.
Yeah, I almost said.
Here I am. Now, you have Soldiers March, you have
The actual
Oh.
Trauma Run. Okay, so
We're doing. I'm so confused. Where's Soldier?
It's not.
Oh.
So they're not the same level, just so you know,
No,
okay?
they're not.
Okay. So first, let's comment on Trauma Run. What are the challenges you might encounter with one?
Lots of ties. Very excessive. There's kind of melody in the bass clef there. It kind of carries on the melodic idea, which you have to put on that. You do it, and there's some accidentals in there, which might be tricky for a beginner.
Does he have voicing
Dynamic.
in the hand?
left hand.
Look
Somewhere
at
under
look
there.
at
all
this
sorts- it's all
passage
sorts
right
of-
I don't know
here.
where it is. Over
Change.
here?
So right in here, there's tons and tons of voicing in the hand. I made a mistake of giving this to a student before they were ready, and they were frustrated. It was not fun for them. They were just not ready for all of the harmonic things that happen. So you have. Whoa, let me try that again. That was awful. Sorry.
Oh, I know this song. See, my dad used to play that, and I used to think it was so hard because I heard him playing it, and I was like, oh, like my dad's playing that. I'm never gonna be able to learn how to play that. Now I
You
don't
can
think I
play
would
that.
be able to.
Well, you can probably play that now.
Hey,
The challenge is here. You have some large reaches. I didn't even make it. Quite feel enough stretch.
you're like, yeah.
Maybe if I had stretched a little more from hand, I could have. But I didn't.
6 or 7.
So the other thing is, you see that there's before we level it completely, an issue when you see multiple times that is really hard. Okay, for a student. That means you're doing 2 different actions. Even though it's not that hard, it's something that's a concern. So you notice how you're supposed to hold and then 2 is supposed to come underneath. There's a lot of that in this. So it makes your hands a little more jumbled. It doesn't fit under the hand. It's beautiful, but it definitely poses some challenges that way. So big hands, so you have a lot of tense, and then you're holding. The pedal can help, but it's still an issue for sure. So level for Logan, we'll have you start.
I was gonna say, like, it doesn't really have any like dynamics. It just says piano at the beginning, and then you kind of have to do your own.
And how ugly this
And that-
piece would be if you repeated the same way.
Yeah, so like you have to kind of feel that too.
There's some emotional depth. Pedal with discretion. So how many
10.
Yeah, you're probably right.
how many students do really well with pedaling with discretion? Now, hopefully, from an early age, you can help them listen to the sound and respond to that. Students will say to me, "I'm just not used to your pedal." Don't your ears work? Your ears should tell you this is too much, too little, whatnot. Now, I do realize it does take a little time, but your ears are your friend. And how often, Logan, were we shifting around pianos? What? So we need to be able to quickly respond to that difference. So what did you do with your level? What do you think? What do you think?
5, 6, 7.
8. Logan, 5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7, 8. Can you settle in on 1? Maybe pick the middle of those 2. Level 6?
Yeah, 7.
7.
7.
7.
I forgot what we're talking about.
Okay. All right, you're very,
Answer
very lovely.
is-
Yeah? It's a popular movement, but more difficult in terms of interpretation than initially appears. Careful attention must be paid to voicing, pedaling, and continuity of inner line. Are these some things that I mentioned to you? Yes.
Yeah.
So she says lovely.
Yay!
So interesting.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. So remember, something that naturally comes to you might be actually quite challenging.
Or for
So-
students in general.
Yeah, just be really mindful of that. I gave this to a little girl as kind of a fun piece. Her hands were too small. It was awkward for her because her hands were so small. I thought, whoops, that was my mistake. I'm not doing that again. This is for a full-grown hand. I would not give it to anybody that's not full. And you could do it because you know how to pedal. You don't have to hold it. You just have to use your ear to pedal it for you. Where you give that to a 10-year-old, they're not going to do that. And it's going to sound really bad. So, level 8, good. Some good comments there. You learned, you grew. Just out of curiosity, the soldiers march.
I'm saying 5.
Okay.
Wait, actually.
Don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure gonna play it up to tempo maybe, but it's not.
There's not much
4 or 5.
in between the movement besides the
But
chorus.
it's like not all.
And you're mostly playing one note with your left hand.
Yeah. But there is one big bridge.
There's
Some
an octave,
sevens.
sort of.
There's an octave jumps.
And there's an
Okay. So what is your level?
5.
She's gonna say
7.
10.
5. 4 or
Okay.
5.
I
Maybe
say
you're gonna be surprised.
6.
The
10.
dotted 8th to 16th figure gives us words like
Oh.
and help make it a favorite of elementary students. The dotted rhythm should not be played as a triplet. Level 2.
Oh, hey.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
what
wait, I'm
leveling
writing
is
this
this?
down.
Because I am not giving this to my favorite level 2.
Remember, level 2 is an eat crazy tool. Okay.
Level 10 means
Right. Don't know where to level up put in.
Oh, wait, that's not.
Okay.
I'm so confused. by
So
this.
just out of cute, like the Wild Rider.
That's
a fun piece. Level 3.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So
I used that would be. I
wait,
used
that's
that
level
for.
3.
I like that piece. I used it for a lesson I taught last.
the Happy Farmer. Dum bum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum bum 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 bum. Okay, now the Happy Farmer. Schumann shows his cleverness with melody, and how many versions of that are found displayed into violin and cello?
All over
and-
Suzuki.
Yeah,
I know.
but would you say those melodies are memorable? Oh my goodness, yes. And does it feel exactly like the title?
I can picture this little kid in like a farmer's hat and overalls singing on stage.
Yeah, I mean, he is just a master of that.
Wait,
Yeah,
is-
there it is. Wow. So, yep. And so he says for the Happy Farmer and the Wild Rider,
And that one. And the Wild
it's
Rider.
going to be level 3. But it's very repetitive.
Wait, so okay, would comparing this to normal regular level method books, how would you do this leveling compared to there? Like how many apart?
It's not a science. I wouldn't
Like
say.
ish.
I would say usually these are 1.5
Higher.
higher than like a Faber. So if you're in book 3 of Faber, Piano Adventures, book 3A, then I'd probably choose like 2 of these. Yeah. Give or take. Now, if they love the piece, like they always wanted to play the Wild Horseman, that motivation might, well, you could give it to them a little bit sooner. But I wouldn't do too much more than that. A level one.
But like when they finish method books, you probably throw them in at like a 3 or a 4.
Yeah, I would. Thereabouts. Because I like to build their confidence a little bit as well. And remember, you're going to have some challenge pieces and some just to teach and to learn. So all of us are thankful that we had a teacher that didn't make us learn everything. And if you're bored with something, is it better to move on and try and learn through a different piece? Sarah, did you have something to share?
Can I borrow one of those books?
You can see I have a whole bunch of them. Okay, so they are great. So now, so Beethoven's Pathetique Sonata. So there it is. Yeah,
This is my
I
course where it's
love this
I heard
piece.
Ben play it, and
I think it is one of the most exciting sonatas I almost said ever born. Are sonatas born?
Yes.
Yeah,
Those are definitely born.
they're not made.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were agreeing that it's boring, and I was like,
Okay.
No, they're born.
Okay.
at least I hope they are.
There you
That
go.
would make it easy.
And then this one also in here.
Really hard.
Whoa, they squished that down.
I know.
They squished that one
I
down.
would
You're
say
fine.
that she
That
doesn't.
one just looks scary.
You're fine.
I think that you should work on talking positively.
This is why
yourself.
you don't play classical music. Because you're like, no, I
I
can't do
don't
that.
like that.
I don't get that though, because that's so not you in like every other aspect of your life. But then
No.
it's just like,
Such
classical
a
music scares
hardcore
me.
person.
I
So
could be
hard.
super, like, something super depressing and pessimistic and others.
But it's
Good
just,
night.
it's just funny because you do things all the time. Like you do hard things, and then you're like, this no, not.
She is a funny one.
How do you
Don't put
play
Allison
this?
in the box. I would not go up
Memorize
against.
this. Are you done?
I would not go up against Allison in class match. No thank you. 121.
This version looks less intimidating.
This one's
Oh, yeah,
really
Keep this
good.
one. It'll make
Yeah, because you know what? Play it like that.
Now you're not gonna like
Oh.
this version.
Same thing.
you- That's part of it.
Look at this.
This is really long.
You're super jammed on the page.
That one's.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Oh, and it doesn't even like pull the page.
No.
Wait,
Ew.
ever?
That's him.
Okay. Allegro Cambrio. Is that gonna pose
With
some
cheese.
challenges?
I never actually remember what it's called.
What?
Allegro with spirit.
Brio.
Oh, that's what
That's
it means?
brie.
With spirit.
Oh, I
Brio
always
is
forget.
spirit.
Okay,
Brio is
cheese
spirit.
and wine.
Wine, spirit, I guess. Okay.
I could have got it. Okay,
All right.
I
So,
remember stuff.
what are challenges that you will encounter in the Pacific?
Everything.
Lots of
Their
notes.
fingers.
I'm
The fingering is a
tired.
big thing.
Fingering, as well as you have repeated that tremolo often. If they don't have good rotation, they will have problems physically.
For me,
Hey.
the hard parts were the videos and the quick going up with different intervals.
Yeah.
The accidentals in it too.
Speed is definitely a consideration. Wow.
I would go too fast on the parts that I
Both
could
hands
do.
in the
bass,
and then slow down in the
Both
hard
hands in the
parts.
bass clef.
That was a problem.
Yeah.
So did I. I'm like,
There's some crossover.
Slow down.
Bum, 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 bum. La, da, 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 bum, 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 bum. Character presentation as well is super important in this one. The second movement is one of the most popular performed, I would say.
That's
Three.
That's right.
People usually start
Is it
with
actually?
the second one, right?
And this is the more spread out version, so it's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That one's fine.
The last one.
So, just so you are aware, the Papatique, the name Papatique was one of the only two titles given by Beethoven. So he actually
You really wanted it to be called it.
This first movement is one of the most popular sonata movements in his output. The opening grave section requires interpretive insight and fine skill in executing the complex rhythm with
And there's
exactness.
a lot of dynamics.
The movement itself, with its recurring tracings of the opening grave, numerous surprises, is more difficult than many performers realize. The familiar second movement is a beautiful hymn-like work in rondo form. Careful attention to voicing the thick textures is required. The final movement is driving and energetic with long phrases that become sing-song unless carefully inflected. The performer needs strong fingers and a fine sense of articulation in the complex phases of this dramatic movement. Level 10.
I'm writing 20.
So, level 10 is what she categorizes. Now, I want you to be aware that level 10 I might put level 10 Claire de Lune first. She said Claire de Lune level 10. That one. That would be the first one. Is they come into level 10, and this would be the last one. At level 10. After I would do Claire de Lune, I would go to Intermezzo.
Or say you're in college.
So all of these pieces in the level 10, even 9 category, I would say are collegiate level. So you could play them.
So after you finish the state, you're go to a master's program.
So yes, we don't have enough time to finish all of them because it's already 12:54. We will come back to this though. This is very important for you.
This has been helpful for me trying to figure out like what questions.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm like, oh, that's helpful. Like I was pointing out, like the things that you're pointing out here, whatever. I was using that when I was looking through like in the bookstore, and I was like, oh hey, I know how to do this now.
Sometimes learning, okay, this one looks and it's hard, but it fits under the hands really, really well. Like Trauma Ride looks like, oh, perfect. Give it to this 10-year-old that just finished. Then I'm like, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Why is it hard? Oh, okay. These are some sophisticated things I didn't even prepare her for. And now I'm mad at her that she's not doing them. She wasn't ready. I kind of just thrust her into the deep end without any floaties. And then I put lead in her boots because I never helped her to experience some of these things prior.
Lead floaties.
Like a millstone.
I
So,
have to show you a thing real quick. Actually, if you want to see it, you can. Because it's magnetic, because it sticks, and so it just kind of collects things. I've had bobby pins stuck there too for a while.
is it handy?
No, it's just because it closes that way. It stays closed.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Okay.
But everything just.
I'm curious if mine will stick to there. Makes me think to myself, so. Nope.
Found that one out.
I would say mine is not magnetic.
Also, I did find
You found something.
Yeah.
Good.
I like the what is it? FLH.
FGH.
Yeah, whatever that is. Whatever that is, and I found it. I think it was like for 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that would be perfect
Yeah.
because it's kind of a challenge because
Hopefully
there's a little bit
civilians
moving
will work.
positions.
Because sometimes after I've done like open Skype.
And remember, if you give them more time, then you can maybe give them something a bit harder. But I never, so I sometimes let the recital pieces be a little harder than where they're at. But the week-to-week stuff, I never give them stuff that's
I've just been moving.
So, like, what would you say leveling-wise the piano accompaniment is going to like? No, I think it could be.
It's not actually that hard. I just make it hard.
Remember, you add one level whenever you add an ensemble.
Oh.
You add a level.
Okay, then 12.
So if it's a level 9, if it was just a piano piece.
And it does.
Then you add people.
It's very expressive. Like it really
Yeah.
has to flow.
And
And
you
so
out the
if
left
you-
hand, which I have a 10.
You have to shape. But I felt like you did it. I was proud of you.
Yay. So
Yay.
he switched pianos on me, and I had it good on the other
It's
piano.
hard
and
to
then
get
I switched
something to
pianos.
flow on a different piano.
Well, you did a good job. I could tell you were fighting for it. That piano, I find that being expressive is a little more challenging because it's a little more bright.
Theoretically, you'll hear
Yeah.
it December 2nd. When
It's
we
not
play
as
it.
warm.
It doesn't really do very much, and I'm like, go! Bye, Sarah. See you later.
Have a good
The
weekend.
sound isn't going to work. It's not.
Do you have music for or know where I can look for? My pastor's wife asked me to look for something because she's looking for more Christmas pieces to do with the kids program. Like that would have a piano accompaniment to go with it.
Okay.
And that
Children's
like a
cantata?
children, yeah, kind of like that. And
My
I thought,
cousin wrote one.
and I wondered too if I could find a book, and that way she can pull different ones for like the next few years, like so that they can just instead of just finding one piece and going here's like for this year, but then they can keep it.
Well, Lighthouse Baptist Church, we did Contentment Calamity. And it's a Christmas cantata my cousin wrote for her church. Anyway, it's cute. And we used a cowbell in one of the pieces.
I want to see what it was like having that on the squish paper.
It's terrible. That is way to make a student feel very discouraged.
Reboot.
It's just because it doesn't behave what
Yeah.
Skype wants it to. And for some reason, after I open Skype, the sound doesn't.
Marianne, sorry. You just have gotten.
Bye, Marianne.
You can
We will see you later, my dear. Sorry, you kind of forgot that we were still.
well, like, if you go, that's how you fix it when it happens. I don't know. If there's a
Goodbye.
possibility that it can do it every time you start up, but then like, as long as you go back, there's like a sound and audio setting in Skype. Try that.